Yo, what's good? My name's Kang, and in this video, we're gonna budget together. This is a monthly reoccurring series where I break down every single dollar spent, save, and invest each month. As you can see, I'm not in my normal spot right now. I'm actually at home for my friend's wedding, but that doesn't stop the YouTube grind, so you're just gonna have to deal with this. The fans going in the background, I'm sorry, it's really hot. That's why I'm wearing a tank top too. But anyways, let's get to the budget. First things first, let's talk about my pay. Each month I take home around $3,400. Not much has changed since the last month, so I'm not gonna bother putting it on screen. You just gotta trust me. There's no reason I would lie to you about this. But yeah, $3,400 into my bank account every single month. Next up, we have investments, which is again more or less same from the previous month, so I'm not going to throw it up on a screen, but it's $5,500 into my 401k through myself and my employer match, another $1,600 into my ESPP, and $800 each month split between Bitcoin and Ethereum in 100 increments every single week. So if you total all of that up, the total amount that I invested this month is around $7,900. And same thing with the spending. I'm not going to throw all the numbers on screen. You just kind of have to trust me. Again, you can go back and look at the old ones. There's no reason for me to lie to you on this one. All right, with all that boring stuff out of the way, we can talk about something a little bit more fun, which is the spending. So here we are in Mint, which is one of my favorite apps. I did the pruning earlier where I went over and fixed all my transactions because it's pretty boring. You don't have to watch that. All right, so first we have public transit, which is $17. This is a mix of using the transit in Toronto and also doing Ubers here and there. Next, we have internet, which is $22. Nothing has changed there, basically the same. All right, so alcohol and bars, I spent $0 this month, which I'm very surprised about. I predicted last month that I spent a ton of money on alcohol, and it's not that I didn't drink, I did, but it ended up being like, oh, I'll buy the pizza, you buy the beer, that sort of situation. So I ended up technically spending some money on alcohol, but it's not showing up in the budget, if that makes sense. All right, next we have coffee shops for $26. So most of this actually not coffee, it's actually Tim Hortons. And honestly, being in America, I didn't realize how much I missed the Tim Hortons breakfast sandwiches. Going back to Canada and having them, I was like, wow, like this is something that we need in America. By the way, the best Tim sandwich out there is the sausage, egg, and biscuit. You cannot change my mind. That's the GOAT. All right, next we have fast food, which is $102, which is $52 over budget. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I actually stopped in Vancouver before I went to Toronto, just because the flight's a lot cheaper from Vancouver. And I got a lot of friends in Vancouver, so I was just gonna visit them before I came back. All right, with all that out of the way, let's talk about some of the fast food places that I ate and my favorite ones. Lambo's Deli in Toronto. Got to try Lambo's Deli. It's very good. Next we have McDonald's, and I'm going to be honest, McDonald's in Canada is way better than McDonald's in the States. Like the quality is definitely different, you can tell. PG Clucks is another chicken spot in Toronto, is really good. Everything else is pretty normal, like random spots that aren't that interesting, so we can go into the next category. Next we have groceries for basically $190. I do not know how I spent $190 and only spent like 2 weeks in Seattle. I do have a video coming out soon about how I plan my groceries and cook and meal prep, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. It'll go over a little bit more about the cost of the groceries and how I structure things. But yeah, I'm honestly just surprised I spent like $200 on groceries and I only ate in Seattle for like 2 weeks. So this month I spent $225 on restaurants, which is $125 over the budget. A lot of these restaurants were in Canada, so it ended up being a lot cheaper than it would have been if I paid in Seattle. I think if I had all these restaurants in Seattle, it'd probably be closer to $300. So it's nice getting a little discount going home. Next, we have gift and donations. I brought home some stuff for my brother from America that I guess you can only get in America. But yeah, it ended up being $74. Don't tell TSA. Mortgage and rent, we have $1,280. This month, I paid my electric bill, which ended up being $52 per person. I split out with my roommates, so $150 total. Next, we have hair care. This month, I spent $145. $120 of that is like the actual haircut itself, another $25 for some product. I don't spend this every single month. I usually get a perm every 3 months or so, and then between that I get haircuts, which are like $30. So I guess it averages out to, I don't know, I guess like $50-$60 a month, which is kind of expensive, but I like my hair, so it's okay. Next we have laundry, $10 a month, that's fine. Shopping, which is $400. So this month I spent a lot of money, particularly on camera stuff. So first, I got this lens, which I'm using right now. You obviously can't see it. It's the Sigma 18-35 f1.8. This lens is more expensive than my camera, like the actual camera itself. So this lens on eBay, I got for like $605. But so far, I really like the lens. It's really sharp and it's nice. I know, hopefully you can tell the difference. If not, don't tell me because then I'll feel like I wasted $600. Next, we have this mic that I'm currently using. My old mic, it was giving me some problems, kept breaking. So I got this new one. This was like $100. I think this is the Rode. This one is the Rode Video Mic Go 2. It's a pretty good mic. I like it. Hopefully it sounds good. If it doesn't, please don't let me know because then I'll feel like I wasted $110. On top of the lens and the mic, I also got like one of those UV filters that you put on top of the lens, like in front of it, so that if I ever drop the lens, which I probably will at some point, it doesn't scratch. And I also got like this foam insert that you put inside your backpack to store your camera lens. Because before this, I was just kind of throwing my camera into my bag whenever I was traveling, which is honestly probably a bad idea. I don't know how it's not broken by now. So in total, I spent $775 on camera gear this month. So $775 is a lot, but I ended up using my work's fitness/hobby reimbursement program. So in total, after I reimbursed everything, I ended up getting back $531, which brings the total that I paid for all the camera gear to $225, which I think is a pretty good deal. Next, I got Tevas for my girlfriend and I. If you don't know what Tevas are, they're these really corny looking sandals, like the dad mode sandals. But we're going to Thailand later on and they were on sale, so decided to just get them now. Next, we have everything else. Like I said a little bit earlier, I got reimbursed $532. I just put in a different category to make it easier for myself to see later. Entertainment. This is a bike rental for around Stanley Park in Vancouver. If you ever have the chance to do that, it's super awesome. Would recommend. And finally, we have the service fee for my credit card. Last month, I got the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and now they're tacking on the service fee for the whole entire year, which is $95. If you spend like $6,000 within the first 6 months, for my offer in particular, you get like 90,000 Chase points. But I've already hit that bonus within like 2 months of having the card, which is kind of crazy, which means I've been spending a little bit too much money. But to be fair, some of it was flights, which was last month, and then this month, a lot of it was reimbursed through work. So not that big of a deal in my eyes. So in total this month, I spent $3,114. Like I said a bit earlier, $531 we knocked off through the reimbursement through work. So in total, let's say like $2,600. And this month was pretty chill considering that I traveled to Vancouver and Toronto. I mean, I guess a part of that is because the Canadian dollar is a little bit weaker than the US dollar right now, which kind of worked out in my favor. Another quick note about travel is that I went from Seattle to Vancouver to Toronto. And if I'm being honest, Seattle's the worst out of all the cities. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like Seattle, but Vancouver is a better version of Seattle in almost every single way except for like the pay. It's pretty small, so you get everywhere that you really want. I'm not a huge drinker, so I don't really care that the nightlife kind of sucks, which it does. But to combat the kind of sucky nightlife, you get access to the mountains super fast and all this nature. On top of there being mountains really close to the city, you also have the Stanley Park and Kitts Beach, which is in Vancouver. Even comparing Toronto, I used to not like Toronto a ton because I'm from Mississauga. So commuting down to the city always just kind of sucked. But now that my girlfriend's living in Toronto and I'm staying with her, I'm having a really good time being in the city. I mean, maybe the weather's just really nice right now, but going on walks around the city, checking out different neighborhoods, it's really nice. And Toronto public transit is great, which is another thing that I use to gauge how much I like a city. So another fun thing that happened this month is that I learned that I'm allergic to cats. And I think cats are pretty cute, but I never actually played with a cat like for an extended period of time. My girlfriend's roommate has a cat, and I was playing with her and then I was touching my face. I'm like, why am I so itchy? Yeah, it turns out I'm allergic to cats. And since this is a personal finance YouTube channel, I want to talk about some fun things that you can do that are also free. The weather's really good right now, so get your friends, go do a picnic, play some spike ball, and take advantage of the nice weather while we have it. If you're in Vancouver, check out Kitts. And if you're in Toronto, you can check out Kensington Market, which is last Sunday of every month or something like that. They do pedestrians only, which is super cool. A lot of cool vendors come out. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. So if you want to be a part of that journey, hit the subscribe button, join the mob. But other than that, if you still want to hear my voice, see my face, you can watch this video where I go over how much I spent in the month of April. Other than that, hope you have a nice day. Bye.